Hey guys, so I am going to do a couple videos on snook, just how I fish for them, how to find them, what lures to use, if you guys have anything in particular about snook that you want me to cover, feel free to let me know and I'll try to cover them in the videos. But it's basically going to be not necessarily a how-to, but more of like I guess you can consider it a how-to, but you know, how to find spots, what rigs to use, what lures to use, what leaders to use, that sort of thing. So that's what I'm going to be covering in these next few videos. At least I'll have a succession of them. Today is going to be about how to find them on Google Maps. The easiest ways to find spots on Google Maps. So I'm going to jump right into that and talk about a few things that are very important when it comes to finding snook. There are three, I guess you can say four, depending on the fourth one helps, but it's not required. The three things that are very important when it comes to finding snook are current, structure, and bait. Those three things, you're probably going to find snook. The thing is that snook like to sit in current. They don't like to sit in still, stagnant water. They tend to like to congregate around areas that focus on a little bit of current flow, like a bridge or a channel that has that anywhere where the current's going to be moving back and forth routinely with the tide changes are great. The other thing is structure. Structure is very important for snook. They don't like to be out in the open, and that doesn't necessarily mean there has to be a tree overhang or a dock or a bridge. It could mean that there's a rock pile out in the water. They love structure. They like to be sitting and ambushing their prey, which is the next thing would be bait. If there's not a good amount of bait around, or there's not ever any bait that's really in that area, they don't really go back and forth through there. Chances are there's probably not going to be snook. They got to have something to eat, and they like to wait for their prey. So what they'll do is they'll sit and wait for their prey within the tide. They'll be fighting, just sitting there swimming against the tide. Whenever something comes by, there, boom, they eat. So that's basically what they do. If you can find those three things, it was very important. The fourth thing that could potentially be what kind of sets it off is depth, how deep the water is. And the reason I say that is because if you're fishing a super shallow area with a lot of current, there might be some snook on it, but if you find the depth, a little pocket where they can kind of sit in a little deeper than the rest of the area, that tends to be where the snook like to congregate. And the reason being is because it's another ambush point. They like to sit next to bridges because at least big girls do. All the big girls like the bridges, and the reason that they sit in the water as it's going through and hitting the pilings creates little cuts, and they like to sit and chill right in that. And when the bait comes over them, they go and smack it. So a lot of other fish do this too, but snook are they're very prone to doing that. So those are the few things that I like to focus on. With that being said, I'll show you on Google Maps kind of some areas that you can find that kind of give you a telltale sign that all those things are together. So before you go and actually even go to a spot, you have an idea, okay, there should be snook here, and then you can go out and check for yourself to see if you can find those few things. All right. So if I'm going to look on Google Maps here, I'm going to look for areas that look like they have deeper bodies of water near them. This is a big wide view. This is Fort DeSoto, that whole area down there. The Skyway's down here. So basically, you see how big this channel is right here. There's going to be a lot of current flow going in between under the bridges here and out. So basically from the bay to the Gulf. This is Shell Key at North Beach at Fort DeSoto. You can see that channel, all that water flushes out of here. So, there's current, as an example. There's this Bunce's Pass. A lot of you guys know where this is. This is where everyone hangs out all the time at the sandbar. So, anyway, you see it's deep. You see where there's some depth to it, so that's pretty good. But you got a channel that runs through here, and you know that the current's going to run through here a lot. You know, whenever the tide's coming in or out, so there's going to be current. There's flats everywhere out here, so you know that when the current is going out, it's going to flush all that bait out toward this direction, whether it be past crabs or shrimp or a little bait fish. They're going to be over in that general area, just moving back and forth with the current. So that's good. That's definitely what you want. So you got current, you got structure. So over on this side, you got mangroves. And I know some of you guys might complain that I'm showing this spot, but come on, everyone knows about this spot. You got your depth, you got your current that flows past it, and you got a bunch of mangroves that lined here. And there are a bunch of snook that like to chill out here. Sister Key right here, it's right next to the channel, so you know the current moves near there pretty good. You got mangroves, which can be your structure, and there's some oysters out there too. You got your bait, being greenbacks or shrimp, or there's a whole bunch of other stuff there. It's also good for redfish over there. If we go on this side toward the bridge, now there's definitely going to be snook out here. So we got bridge, so we got structure, we got water depth. We also got a whole bunch of, there's a toll booth right here that you guys can pull over near. But Tampa Bay watches right here. Bunch of structure. There's grass out here, so you know there's going to be bait out there. And there's depth and structure. So it's basically the most important things. I'm going to go zoom out and find a random spot that I'm not necessarily going to know. And I'm going to see where I think there's going to be fish. So I'm just going to blah, 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 blah. I'm going to go here and pick right here off of Pinellas. No. There we go. I'm going to pick right in here. So this is the big Bayway Bridge right here. So it's a bridge, so there's probably going to be a lot of current that moves through here. A lot of current. There are docks along here, so if you're in a boat, there's your structure, there's your current. There's also going to be some depth near there because it's right next to a channel. And there's probably going to be a lot of bait that moves through here. All these docks in here are going to be a good place to find snook. There should be plenty of them in there. Long story short, that's the quick and easy way. You want to find anywhere where there's current. You want to find places where there's structure. You want to find places where there's bait. The bait part, you really won't know 100% until you get down there. That's kind of why you got to go and try to find an area. So if you can find areas that look like they're a little bit deeper, where there's going to be a lot of current moving through, that's going to be your best bet. Yeah, the snook will get into the cuts and stuff like that, but as long as the water's moving a decent amount, like they have to fill up, there's your current, and if there's bait in those areas, then you're probably going to have fish. So you need those ingredients for it to really work out pretty well. It doesn't all have to be super crazy when it comes to current. It doesn't have to be super deep. There's just got to be some structure and got to be some bait, and the current's got to move sometime. So even if it's at the top of the tide, fills up, at the bottom of the tide it's pretty empty, as long as that current is moving a decent amount, should be fine. If it's not really doing anything, I don't know. I wouldn't focus on those areas. So anyway, hope you liked this video. Thanks for watching. Thanks for liking, subscribing, all that good stuff. I'm going to come out with some more stuff and hopefully do some more fishing here pretty soon. My boat died already. My engine just crapped out. So it's not, it sucks really bad. I got to figure out what to do. I got to get a new engine. So I'm going to be in the process of doing that over the next few weeks. So hopefully I can get that up and running soon and be able to get back on the water. So anyway, thank you for watching, and y'all have a good rest of your day.